in his image, then call us by our names. Mustn't text and not believe in God, but the feeling's just the same. Hi beauties and cuties, I'm back and better than ever. Actually, yeah, some might say. I was in a bit of a funk last week, but not even thumbs down because like everything can be, you know, a teacher, whatever. But it was very uncomfortable, we'll say that. So this week, Imani's getting her mojo back. So I had to delete TikTok, let's be honest, or off my phone, because obviously the algorithm figured out that I'm a spiritual bitch. So it was just force feeding me content about like manifestation and like do this to make your manifestations come quicker, XYZ. And I feel like a lot of the intention behind those videos is like solid in terms of like, you know, being able to like unblock certain things so that things are coming with more ease. But I feel like the word quicker is kind of fucked because it just like got my mind so pressed on like time, because all of the TikToks are, this is why your manifestations aren't coming. I'm like, why would you say that? Don't speak that over my life. They are coming actually. And they are coming fast enough because they'll come at the perfect time. It's like really a mindfuck when everyone's like, everything will happen in divine timing. This is why your manifestations aren't coming fast enough. I'm like, wait, how did... Yes, Imani's getting her mojo back. Imani is revealing the mojo that was always there all along. And so this week will be filled with that. Hey. So it's Wednesday. I'm gonna be taking out, I did a retwist like a week and a half ago. I did like 3-strand twists. So I'll take them out and see how it looks. I'm excited. I'm curious to see what the twist out is giving. If it's giving. I did a good job, no? Baby's first retwist. My hair's been locked. I think it's about 2 months now. I twisted them at the end of August. And now it's the end of October. Ooh, that's cute. Look at those. Today is a full moon. I've been less like focused on like doing specific rituals for the moon cycles. I'm just trying to do less in general. I think I was starting to get caught up in the doing and less in the feeling. Less pressed to know, you know, exactly what any given astrological event is doing, because I trust that the messages that whatever is happening are supposed to send will just come to me. In meditation this morning, the message that came through around this full moon, around what's asking to be released, and I'm curious if this lines up with what y'all know about it. I heard the word wait, and then so initially it was giving W-A-I-T, wait, and then it was like made clear that it was also that and like to be carrying weight. So one was continuing to release urgency. I've been getting this message a lot ever since I learned, or it was made clear to me, that urgency is a pillar of white supremacy. I've been thinking about it a lot. I'm thinking about how much urgency, and really like made up urgency, is embedded in so much of how things are done. I've been seeing like lots of discussion about like we're doing like made up jobs and made up, but like not even just the jobs, but like the concept that then these made up jobs have to be so driven by urgency. But in service of white supremacy, I guess it like makes sense for that in terms of, well, one, making you feel like you're like never doing enough, never doing anything fast enough. It also like seemingly justifies a lot of the exploitation that happens, because it's like, well, we need this to happen by this time, so it's fine that we're not paying people enough or not paying people at all. Cough cough. Enslavement, cough cough. I'm literally still waiting for my reparations. But also in like our, I don't know, day-to-day things, like me feeling maybe stressed about not texting someone back right away or something like that. Also, I've been watching Real Housewives. I've literally, when I say inhaled, I'm on season 10 now, I think. And I see that with them a lot as well, like the pressures that come with trying to like perform, being, I don't know, rich and successful and being a businesswoman and having jobs. They're the one that even made it the idea that they had to have this party for whatever it is. And then they're like, no, it has to be by this date. But the whole time it seems like that date is going to cause stress. So I'm like, why don't you just do it 2 weeks later? Like something like that. Or when Candy and Todd were opening the restaurant and they're talking about doing a soft opening. And then they're freaking out because it's like, well, all this looks like it's not going to happen by the soft opening. But then it's like, well, you made the deadline. But then also it's like there are pressures to do things with that kind of quick turnaround time to be impressive as well. It's like, oh, we've been working on this a while, so it should be done. But it's like, what is this should coming from? Most of my stress around, you know, my next steps, whatever, come from this false sense of urgency. Because whenever I like affirm to myself and am reminding myself that everything I need is always provided whenever I need it. The perfect place, the perfect time. Whenever I remind myself that it literally can't be rushed. Whenever I remind myself that good things take time, my stress dissolves. Like it really does. So when I was sitting in meditation this morning and the word wait came through, part of that meaning is like releasing the sense of urgency, because when we feel like things have to happen in a certain timeline, a lot of times we end up getting to wherever we're gonna end up, we make it a lot more difficult than it might be if we're actually willing to wait for some things to fall in place. Or just wait, like spend even a second in silence and checking in with ourselves and seeing, is this next move actually even what needs to happen? Or am I just feeling frantic and uncomfortable with being still? And so now I'll jump into anything to get rid of that stillness. But then that will only further exacerbate our agitation. Sorry, it's kind of a confusing cycle. Then I sing it as the Three of Discs, which is like got like work, discipline, and in my deck it's like there's an Eye of Horus and there's like a triangle that always gives like building that strong foundation, moving wisely, but then also it's like sunset in the card, or maybe sunrise, and it seems like there's like a figure maybe moving on a horse. I wonder if that's all actually on the card or if that's what it is in my mind. Either way, I was thinking of someone on a journey somewhere by horse, and they come to a stopping point where they're like, okay, my horse needs to rest. It's nighttime as well, so even if we were to keep making progress, like maybe we'd make some wrong turns. But then in the stillness of the night, they start to let that urgency creep in and they get nervous about not getting where they need to go fast enough. So then they started like trying to pull the horse, not even like wake it up, but like started trying to pull it along the way. And I think Spirit was just trying to show me like because that sounds absurd, right? Because you're like, wait, the horse literally has legs to move. Like the whole point of the horse coming is to make the movement easier. When we get maybe nervous about not getting somewhere fast enough, it can encourage those rash decisions that, when I say like trying to pull a horse, that like literally doesn't even make sense. It sounds absurd. But there are things that we do in the name of urgency that we've made seem normal, but are also equally absurd. Especially like now that it's giving fall, and I've just been thinking a lot about the winter approaching, letting ourselves like welcome this new season and the cues that it might be giving us to slow down and not necessarily wait for things to be dropped in our lap or anything. Although sometimes that will happen, and like welcome that if it does come. I've been thinking about that too, especially watching Housewives, because the way that they will drag each other for like getting some kind of gift from someone. Oh, you didn't pay for your house, you didn't pay for your car, blah blah blah. One, it's giving internalized misogyny, like wanting to distance oneself from this like archetype of the gold digger or the sugar baby, and thinking of those things as something to be looked down upon because you didn't like work for or whatever you have. But it's like okay to receive things. It's okay for things to like be brought to you as offerings and for you to just take them. And it's okay to pray for that as well. That sure, there are moments where you're putting in the work and you're going to your fields and harvesting the fruits of your labor. But it's also okay for, you know, the person next door who also just harvested their fruits to just bring you a basket of them, asking for nothing in return, but just wanting to share that with you. So it's okay for things to be dropped in your lap. And for the things that you might be working towards, it's okay to just think about this next step and to rest when it's time to rest. And not even think, but like just take each step as it comes and then when it's giving like a time to rest, to actually rest, so that when you're at that next point of taking steps as they come, you can move from a space of faith with a bit more ease. I've been listening to a lot of Cleo Sol. Rose in the Dark and Mother are my like reset albums. If I'm feeling like I'm in a funk, I start doubting myself, those are my go-tos. Because it's the way that singing along to those literally it's praying. It's literal prayer. Ooh, it just gets me right. And so many of her lyrics have been popping up in my head as like messages as well. Like, good things take time. She said that. I was like, yeah, you're actually completely right. And I want the things or the essence of whatever is, you know, coming to meet me to feel really nurturing. It's 333. Making me think about the 3 of Cups. And then the 6 of Cups. And then the 9 of Cups. Good things take time. Keep on trying. Don't press rewind. Don't press rewind. What she say? Lost in time. She said that and I was like, literally caught up in time when time can't even contain all of what we are and what we're meant to be, not even do. Be, loves, be. Ooh la la. But yes, continuing to learn about myself, my true self, letting her come out to play, even in glimpses, learning what it feels like to be. Okay, something like that. I'm gonna spray it with some water. Okay, wait, it's actually kind of cute. I think photo would just have me confused, but now it's kind of cute. For a minute, can I get a second of your time? Can we just quit while we're ahead now? Keeps getting harder to find. It's music though. Oh, I like this one too. Wait, let me play this. I kinda like this. Baby, I don't wanna fight no more. We could go back and forth. Why play these silly games and force one for us no more? It's the mid-song slump for me. It's the I have a verse and a chorus and I don't know how to get back into the flow of when I wrote them. It's that for me. But it is not lethal. We can get through it, but it's kind of annoying when it happens. It's cold outside. I don't know if I'm feeling it because I refuse. That's pretty much that on that. It's giving stay inside. I kinda just wanna stay in bed. Might make some music or something. Or like read, that kind of vibe. Caught a vibe! Let's see what my dream card says. Sometimes I'll pull a card and put it under my pillow and ask that it like reflects something about my dreams. So I had the 6 of Discs the night before last. And then last night I had, oh, grand reveal, the 10 of Cups. I don't know if my dreams are like the 10 of Cups last night. But no, I think it did like raise the question of like what it takes for me to feel emotionally fulfilled and at peace. And the things that maybe are disrupting that peace. Or the things that are asking to be witnessed so that I can step into that peace with more ease. What about these two in conversation? What do we think? I always like feel, I'm noticing this more and more as I like will post little tarot things on social media, whatever. I get like very insecure. It like surfaces with tarot because one, I just have a different like kind of deck and I love my deck so much. Gorgina. But yeah, I have a different kind of deck. Not just like the way it looks, but it's also like a thoth deck. And so I don't know all of the things that are different between this and like a Rider-Waite. So if I'm saying like, oh, this means this, I don't know if the person hearing it is like, oh, true, that's what I know that to mean. But then I'm trying to just care about that less and less and know that the messages that, and that's how I use tarot anyway, like the messages that are meant to come through the cards will come through. I think that imagery helps me. But some of the Rider-Waite as well, like I feel like it's more just super straightforward imagery in terms of like the symbolism, and sometimes my cards feel just a bit more like abstract. It's not better or worse either way. But also let me know if you have tarot questions. I was thinking about doing a tarot video, so be on the lookout for that. But those are my dream cards. I'll probably sit with them for a bit longer. Carry me, take me to the promised land. Carry me, make my garden home again. This is another book that keeps popping up, like just a bunch of people talking about it. I saw Dr. Dispenza on this Netflix documentary, Heal. That was back like a couple years ago, maybe 2 something years ago, and I remember writing a paper and incorporating what he said. So this will be cool to get into. Lots of juicy stuff. I've been having a very fun day. I woke up so much earlier than I usually do. Yeah, I usually sleep in pretty late, and I'll like wake up and then go back to sleep. But today, couldn't even manage it. I tried. I was like, come on, I want to sleep again. But then I was like, honestly, let's not fight this. I felt energized enough. So I've been up, and I have a meeting in 15 minutes. And then after that, but yes, I've been having a day where I haven't been feeling a lot of resistance for some of the stuff I've been wanting to do. So when I have days like that, I go for it, which feels really nice to be able to flow with that. But yes, it's a beautiful Friday. Fridays still have like their glimmer to me, even though I don't have any like obligations that would that would make Fridays feel like much different, or make the weekend even feel much different. But the energy of Friday is still pretty delicious. We love sweet, sweet Venus Day. But yeah, it's been quite the week. That full moon did something. It feels like some things are being shed, some leaves are falling.